Oh, I should check if these work on Premiere Pro. Technically, I have a call to attend right now, which I'm not quite interested in doing, but maybe I should. But we'll see about that. I'd like for this to be a space for me to just get the habit started of speaking out loud, not keeping thoughts to myself, and sharing the things that I find valuable or useful, things that make me laugh, that make me think. Um, because I find a lot of these resources online, and a lot of the times, especially with the nature of so much of the content that I consume on a daily basis, it's not built to last. It's not built to stick in my brain for longer than maybe 10 to 15 seconds. So I want to build a conscious practice of letting those things stick, letting those little gems of ideas or resources, things that, I really would like to use or share with other people. Building this sort of like weekly repository where I can record these, document these, and just build a ritual out of it more than anything else. I don't want this to have a set theme. I come into this every week just sort of reporting whatever it is I found in that week. And if I found one resource, then the podcast is just one resource long and that's it. I want to see how organically I can grow curiosity and interest in my own creative practice through this project. Now that I've rambled on for long enough, I am going to open up my finds. And that's another thing. I have been curious about what might be the best way to store these ideas until the day that I put them on video. The current model that works for me is I have a WhatsApp group chat with no one on it. And because a lot of these resources I find on my phone, it's a lot easier for me to just send the link or a screenshot, number it by which video or which issue this is, and just send it to myself. If I'm on my laptop as well, I do the same thing. But going forward, I'd like to see what the most natural way of recording this might be. First thing on my list is a book called Blank Space by David Marks, W. David Marks. It's a cultural history of the 21st century. I'm not sure what inspired me to want to read this book. I know that I found it from a reel. I don't even know what the account was, but I am feeling increasingly called to gain a better understanding of what it truly means to be a citizen not only of my own country, but of this entire global landscape we've created in the 21st century, in the big 26. I think a lot of what I and people my age understand or make sense of in our current livelihood stems from whatever the larger consensus on social media or digital media reflects. And while I do think that's a very important and crucial aspect or a crucial dimension, I don't think it's the only dimension. And I want to make sure that I am understanding the larger undercurrents of what's truly driving our sense of humanhood, if you can. What is really the pulse of who we are as a species? Because when I look back on various other eras of humankind, and not just humankind, but that we always seem to separate or segregate or categorize and characterize older periods of history. And I'm curious to know what the current period of history is shaping out to be, so that I can make more informed decisions. I can, first and foremost, obviously be more educated about what's really going on. And I do think that's the main, this is one of my bigger goals for the year and the years going forward as well. I want to become a more educated and more informed member of both digital and physical society. I might feel and seem like a kid to myself a lot of the times. In a lot of ways, I still am. But I do think it's time for me to start taking more of a responsibility in my understanding of the world. So there's that book recommendation for you guys. On a similar note, there is this lecture that I found really interesting. This is from a professor whose work I've been drawn to for almost a year or two now. Their name is Emmanuel Ko, and my understanding is that they work in the intersection of architecture and artificial intelligence. And this particular lecture is called Architecture and Its Cognition, Architectonics from the Mind. This was at ETH Zurich last year. The session explores the frontiers of generative AI in architecture, introducing students to some of the latest research trends in machine learning's creative applications. There was a line that I found really something drew me to this lecture. That essentially, I don't remember what the exact line was. Oh, there it is. Central to this discussion is a probing question. How might human intelligence and AI's capacities intersect, interact, and even emulate one another? I don't like AI. I'm an ML student. I don't think I'm allowed to say I don't like AI. I don't like its implications for anyone. But I do think it's not a necessary, but it is a fascinating new tool we've created for ourselves. I'm simply interested in understanding what might be wildly different ways people interact with it. And so, yeah, this lecture is an hour long. I've gotten through maybe a third of it. A lot of it definitely goes above my head, but I'm still excited to watch. I really love just watching lectures on things that have no relevance to my line of work, because isn't that just so much fun? I really enjoy just deep diving and rabbit holing into completely alien concepts. So, this isn't completely alien to me, but it's still a bit of a fringe topic, which is what I like about it. And finally, another video. This one is a podcast. It's called Kelliot. I have been watching Elliot's videos since I was probably in my first year of college. I am now graduating college, and I am surprised by how late I have been to the Kelliot Party, which is a podcast that Elliot and the co-host Kel Lauren do together. It's called Designers Who Care, and it is just so much fun to listen to two people talk about design. The way it's formatted is they usually have design challenges that they do on screen. So what I find useful is putting their stream on while I do my own projects. So it's a really nice background, like an ambient. It's like they're there and we're designing together. So a new podcast episode came out just yesterday called Big Sister Advice with Kel Lauren. And I needed that. I have enjoyed listening to both of them speak, and I am excited for the next episode. I was going to do this thing, or at least I planned to, where I would also do like an astrological deep dive of my week ahead just by looking at the chart for the next week, seeing what's up in like the aspects, anything crazy. It's been crazy. It's currently the 3rd of February. The eclipse is right around the corner. I think either it's 16, 17, 18. I think it aligns with the Chinese New Year. Um, it has not been fun. I think the thread connecting all of the resources that I found for myself this week have been about learning, expanding my horizons, and just a more consciously aware goal towards educating myself better. I don't consider myself to be much of a doom scroller, but, and this is on a more personal note, life has been a bit brutal in the last couple of weeks. And so I'm at that space right now where I am feeling more prone to sort of shielding myself from whatever it is life has to offer in an attempt to self-soothe or just not be present. And as much as I know it's a mechanism to protect myself, to take care of my nervous system, to just, take a step back and reconfigure. I don't want the learning to stop. I want to continue being someone who is curious and interested in doing stuff and learning and failing, as much as it might be upsetting. So I think that's been the theme of my past week. It's a genuine, not forced, but a very strong call to myself to keep learning and to keep finding things that bring me joy. And now for the fun part, which is deciding or trying to analyze what's up with the astrology of next week. My iPad is at 1%. I am on a very fine thread right now. There has been a lot of influence in Aquarius that is, I think, starting to shift towards Pisces. There's still some time for that, I think, but yeah. We've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto, all in Aquarius. Pluto being the main culprit of the landscape at the moment. Neptune just switched over to Aries as well. There's just been a general sense of upheaval from what I've understood and my own research into what's going on, especially with when Neptune shifted over into Aries. I believe it was in Pisces before. Major. Like the day it shifted, the day or two after, there was just so much chaos already in my life. And I am learning how to navigate that. I admit I don't think I'm doing that great of a job, but hey, what can I do? All the planets are bunched into one region, which I'm finding to be quite... okay. I think this is something that I'm going to have to smooth over or like get better at in the next version of this in the next episode of this. But for now, I leave with just a general sense of optimism about where this is headed. Obviously, there's a lot of things that I need to get sorted. Maybe with like the background, maybe I can get some lights, some design. I want to finalize on a format for this. I do want this to be something that I commit to for the rest of the year. I am going to. Ooh, I also wanted to like design frames for this, like how Kellyet has them. I am feeling like this is the year for me to really take the leap of faith and do what I've always wanted to do, which was make film or podcast or any sort of long form content. Or I just want to make something and I want to continue making things. And I am really done asking for permission. And I really don't have to ask for permission anymore. I am at that stage where I can choose to be independent with my thoughts and my time. So I am excited to see where this goes. And yeah, I will see you next week.